Hey little dreamers! Ready for a magical bedtime adventure? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a sleepy tale. Let's go! Once upon a time, high above the sleeping rooftops and whispering treetops, a small raindrop named Ripple clings tightly to her soft gray cloud. The world below hums with a hush of night, stars blinking lazily as the moon stretches silver fingers across the world, but Ripple trembles in the quiet cradle of mist. She can see the distant glow of lanterns in windows and the dark shapes of hills rising and falling, but to Ripple, it looks like a vast unknown, a place too big and too far to trust. She snuggles deeper into the clouds' comforting fluff, pulling herself smaller as if the softness could hide her fear of letting go. Around her, other raindrops giggle softly, sliding off the edges of the cloud and disappearing into the breeze, but Ripple can only watch wide-eyed as they vanish into the hush of the night. Her tiny body quivers, the weight of unspent courage heavy within her, making her feel like she might burst if she moves even an inch closer to the edge. She imagines falling, tumbling endlessly, with nothing to catch her, nothing to hold her, nothing to guide her back home. The cloud hums gently around her, stroking her with threads of cool mist, whispering that letting go is not the same as falling, that the wind will always be there to dance with her, that the world below is waiting with stories she has yet to hear. But Ripple presses closer, refusing, afraid, believing that holding on is safer, that staying where she is will keep her whole. The cloud sighs softly, patient, waiting for the moment when Ripple's courage will begin to rise. The cloud hums around Ripple, a low, comforting sound like the hush of a lullaby only clouds know how to sing. Its softness presses lightly against her trembling shape, reminding her she is safe for now, that there is no rush, that even the sky takes its time to turn from night to dawn. Ripple peeks out from her snug nest in the cloud, eyes wide and wet, and the cloud whispers, "It's okay to be scared, little one." The cloud tells her stories in the hush of the night, letting its words drift like mist into Ripple's thoughts. It speaks of the journey all raindrops take, of how they leave their cozy clouds to dance on leaves and kiss the cheeks of children waiting with upturned faces. It tells her how raindrops don't truly fall. They find where they are meant to be, joining streams and rivers, puddles that catch the sky, and the waiting soil that sighs in relief when the rain finally arrives. Ripple listens, her glow flickering softly in the dark as she imagines what it might be like to touch the earth, to feel leaves under her tiny waterform, to see the way a child's laughter might sound when rain taps on the windows. But fear curls around her, a tight knot in her watery body, reminding her that leaving the cloud means leaving what she knows, letting go of the softness that holds her so gently now. The cloud does not push her. It only continues its soft, patient encouragement, wrapping Ripple in warmth, telling her that when she is ready, the breeze will guide her, and she will find she is braver than she ever thought. Ripple peeks through a thin wisp of mist curling at the edge of the cloud, and below, the world breathes in shadows and moonlight. The cloud hums again, and Ripple's gaze follows a sudden dance of movement just below, something spinning and tumbling through the cool night air with a laughter Ripple can almost hear. Maple seeds, tiny brown helicopters, drift and twirl on the breeze, letting the wind lift them high before guiding them gently down, their small wings catching the moonlight as they spin like playful dancers. Ripple's wide eyes follow their swirling descent, their laughter ringing like silver bells only a raindrop might hear. She watches how they spin without fear, trusting the breeze to carry them, to guide them, to let them dance on their way to the earth below. One seed spins so close to the cloud that Ripple could almost reach out and touch it, but she stays tucked in her nest, captivated by how the seed's wings flutter as it spins, how it seems to giggle in the air, how it doesn't rush to reach the ground but plays along the way. The wind whooshes around the seeds, lifting them, catching them, setting them free again, and Ripple sees that falling does not always mean dropping like a stone. Sometimes it means letting yourself be carried, letting yourself laugh on the way down. The cloud's soft hum becomes a gentle chuckle, and it says nothing, letting Ripple watch, letting her see how letting go can look like a dance, how the wind will not let her fall alone, and how the world below is not waiting to swallow her, but to welcome her with open arms. The breeze that carries the maple seed spins around the cloud in a gentle swirl, rustling softly, and Ripple feels it brush against her cool surface, a soft tickle like a whispered secret. The breeze carries with it the scent of damp earth far below, the quiet rustle of leaves shifting under the moon, and a laughter that seems to dance on the air, a sound made of freedom and stories too light to carry alone. Ripple blinks, leaning forward just a little as the breeze circles her, playfully tugging at her edges, ruffling the mist around her. The wind's voice is not words, but Ripple can hear it clearly, stories swirling in the shifting air, stories of journeys and laughter, of rivers that sing over smooth stones and puddles that mirror the sky, of leaves that giggle when rain kisses them awake. The breeze hums around Ripple, letting her see tiny moments as if they were memories. A child in bright yellow boots jumping into a puddle, laughter ringing as water splashes high. A small stream chuckling as it rushes over pebbles, carrying fallen leaves like little boats. A window pane singing softly as raindrops tap gently, each note a promise that even small things can create music in the world. Ripple shivers, caught between fear and longing, her glow flickering softly in the night. The breeze circles her again, lifting a single maple seed high into the moonlight before letting it spin down, showing Ripple how letting go is not falling alone into darkness, but joining the world in its quiet, playful dance. The breeze drifts away for a moment, leaving Ripple in the hush of moonlight, her thoughts full of stories she has never lived but now almost feels as if she has, stories whispered by the wind in a voice only she can hear. Ripple's eyes widen as she sees what the breeze has come to show her. Below, the breeze dances along rooftops, teasing the leaves and skipping across window panes where the light of lanterns flickers behind curtains. Ripple watches as raindrops, small and bright like herself, tap against the glass in gentle rhythms, a soft, steady beat that seems to sing into the quiet of the night. Tap, 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 they sing like a lullaby only rain can play. Ripple leans closer to the edge of her cloud, listening as the breeze carries the sound up to her, and it feels like a song of comfort, a promise that even in the darkness, there can be gentle music, that even when the sky weeps, the world can smile back. She sees a child pressing their small hand against the glass, following the drops as they race each other down the pane, leaving tiny rivers in their wake. The child giggles softly, the sound drifting up, and Ripple feels a warmth inside her watery form that she has never felt before, a warmth that curls gently like the mist around her, soft and comforting. The breeze hums around Ripple, letting her see how each raindrop becomes part of this quiet symphony, how their tiny taps on glass become part of the world's heartbeat. It shows her how each drop, small as it may be, can bring a smile to a waiting face, can turn a moment of stillness into something alive, something tender. Ripple shivers again, but it is not fear that makes her quiver this time. It is a longing, a curious ache to join the song, to be a part of the quiet music that makes even the night feel warm and alive, to see the laughter of a child from the other side of the window. Ripple remains perched on the edge of her cloud, her glow pulsing softly as she watches the rain's gentle song on the windows below. But the breeze is not done with its stories yet. It curls around Ripple like a ribbon, guiding her gaze beyond the rooftops, past the glowing windows and down toward the quiet puddles waiting on the ground below. She sees them there, still and glassy, scattered across cobblestone paths and garden soil, each one a small mirror catching pieces of the night sky. Ripple leans closer, seeing how the moon rests in each puddle, how the stars sparkle in their tiny surfaces, and how the breeze sends soft ripples across them, making the moon dance with the slightest sigh of air. The breeze hums a playful note as it swirls over one puddle, and Ripple sees how a fallen leaf floats gently across its surface, carried slowly by the breeze's breath. She sees how a child's rain boot steps carefully into another puddle, creating circles that expand outward, sending the stars quivering and the moon's reflection shaking like laughter on the water. Ripple feels something new within her small form, a gentle ache of longing to be part of that reflection, to touch the moon in a puddle, to be the circle that ripples outward with a child's laughter, to see the stars dance because she touched the earth below. She sees how the puddles, far from being cold and empty, are places where the sky comes down to rest, where the world above meets the world below in soft, shimmering embrace. The breeze hums softly near Ripple, telling her without words that even on the ground, she will find pieces of the sky, that she will not lose herself when she lets go, but will discover herself reflected back, dancing on the surface of the waiting world. Ripple's glow flickers as she sees the puddles below, the moon's reflection shimmering on their surfaces, and for a moment, the fear that clings to her loosens just a little. The breeze, soft and patient, curls around her again, carrying upward a scent so warm, so familiar, that it surprises Ripple with its comfort. It is the scent of earth after rain, rich and sweet, like the promise of green shoots reaching for the sky. Ripple inhales, or at least it feels like she does, the scent curling into her like a soft blanket, grounding her even as she clings to the cloud. She sees how the rain wakes the soil, how tiny seeds hidden in the dark earth stretch and open, pushing small green leaves toward the light after feeling the gentle kiss of water above them. The breeze hums, and Ripple sees in her mind's eye how the rain soaks into thirsty ground, how it sinks into the roots of flowers, into the grass, into the trees that sway gently under the weight of droplets clinging to their leaves. She sees how petals catch rain in their cupped shapes, how the water glitters on spiderwebs strung like delicate bridges between blades of grass. Ripple watches as the world below seems to glow softly after the rain, colors deeper and richer, the air full of the scent that speaks of new beginnings and quiet life stirring awake. She sees small creatures peeking out from their hiding places to drink the droplets left behind, sees children running barefoot in the wet grass, laughter like bells ringing through the misty air. The breeze hums a final note before falling quiet, letting Ripple hold the scent and the vision close, reminding her that the earth is not something to fear, but something that welcomes the rain like a returning friend, embracing each drop with gratitude and warmth. Ripple's glow deepens softly as she holds the scent of earth and the vision of green shoots in her thoughts. The cloud hums quietly, a warm vibration beneath her, and above them, the moon drifts slowly across the sky like a watchful lantern. Ripple shifts, peeking over the edge again as the breeze circles back, carrying with it a soft promise, shimmering faintly like a memory of sunlight. The breeze whispers to Ripple about something that happens when the rain ends, about the moment when the clouds part and light spills across the world below. Ripple sees it in her mind's eye as the breeze shares its quiet story, a rainbow, arched and gentle, stretching across the sky like a promise that even after letting go, beauty can follow. Ripple sees how the colors bend softly over the treetops and rooftops, how children point upward with bright eyes and laughter when the rainbow appears, how puddles catch the colors in their glassy surfaces, reflecting pieces of the promise back into the world. She sees how the earth, still wet and shining, seems to glow under the soft arch, how flowers lift their heads toward the light, their petals catching droplets that sparkle like tiny gems. The cloud hums in agreement as the breeze circles Ripple, reminding her that sometimes when raindrops let go, they find themselves not falling into darkness but rising into light, becoming part of the colors that dance across the sky. Ripple feels a small spark of courage in that moment, seeing herself as part of that promise, part of something that brings smiles and wonder, part of something that only happens when the rain has fallen and the world breathes out in calm. She holds that image close, a rainbow waiting, colors waiting, the promise that letting go might lead her to something she could never see if she stayed tucked safely in the cloud. Ripple leans closer to the edge of the cloud, the image of the rainbow still warm inside her as the breeze tugs gently at her glow, guiding her gaze to a new story waiting below. She sees a stream winding like a silver ribbon through a quiet forest, the water bubbling over smooth stones, creating a song that ripples through the trees and across mossy banks. The breeze hums softly, carrying the laughter of the stream up to Ripple. It is not loud or sharp, but a quiet, playful sound, like a soft giggle hidden between the splashes of water tumbling over rocks. Ripple sees leaves drifting along the water's surface, twirling in small circles as the stream guides them along, their journey gentle and unhurried. Each leaf bobs lightly, as if the water itself is whispering stories to them, stories of pebbles and moss and the way the sunlight dances on the water's surface. She sees a child kneeling at the edge of the stream, reaching out with small fingers to touch the water. Ripples spread outward from the touch, sending circles across the surface that catch the sunlight in shimmering lines. The child's laughter drifts upward, a soft, clear sound that mixes with the song of the stream, making the air feel brighter, making Ripple feel a longing so gentle it almost feels like hope. Ripple watches how the stream carries small droplets along, how they join together in quiet companionship, moving around rocks and fallen twigs, always forward, always in gentle dance. She sees how the droplets sparkle under the sun, how the stream never rushes them but carries them patiently, giving them time to glide and laugh and swirl as they go. The breeze hums again, reminding Ripple that down below, she would find other droplets waiting, ready to join her in laughter and movement, ready to sing with her in the gentle song that the stream carries through the world, waiting to welcome her to the dance she has only watched from afar. But as the breeze drifts away, leaving the soft hush of the stream's laughter in its wake, Ripple feels the fear rise once more, curling tightly inside her like a cold knot. She looks down from the edge of her cloud at the world that seems so big, so far, and so full of unknowns, and she presses herself back into the softness of the cloud, trembling. The gentle images the breeze had shown her, the dancing maple seeds, the singing windows, the puddles catching the sky, the rainbow arching across the world, and the laughing stream, flutter like fragile petals in her thoughts, beautiful but not enough to untangle the fear that clings to her. What if she falls too fast? What if the wind forgets to catch her? What if she cannot find the laughter in the fall or the song in the splash? What if letting go means she will be alone, lost in the rush of air and the darkness below? The cloud hums softly, feeling Ripple's trembling, wrapping her in a thicker, cooler mist like a comforting blanket. It does not scold her or tell her to be brave, but simply holds her, letting her know that it understands the fear of leaving what is safe, the fear of letting go of what is known. Ripple peeks out again, just a little, her glow faint as she watches the world breathing below her, the mist swirling, the trees swaying gently in the breeze that still waits patiently for her. She feels the cloud's quiet warmth, a reminder that it will not rush her, that she can take her time, that even the sky moves slowly when it needs to. She presses herself into the softness again, holding the images of rainbows and streams close, letting them warm her fear just a little, even as she remains tucked within her cloud, not ready yet, but maybe almost ready to think about letting go. The breeze returns, softer than before, a warm hush that drifts around Ripple like a lullaby whispered in the dark. It circles her gently, stirring the mist and the softness of the cloud, not rushing her, not pushing her, but reminding her it is still there, waiting with patient kindness. Ripple feels the breeze brush against her cool surface, and for a moment she closes her eyes, letting the warmth of the breeze soak into her glow, easing the tightness of fear just a little. The breeze carries with it the scent of wet leaves, the laughter of puddles, the soft tapping of raindrops on windows, and the memory of the rainbow arching across the world. It holds all these stories gently, letting them swirl around Ripple like comforting hands. Trust me, the breeze seems to whisper, not in words but in the hush of its movement, in the way it lifts the mist, in the way it sings softly against the cloud's edge. It reminds Ripple that she is not alone, that when she lets go, she will not fall into emptiness but will be caught, carried and guided, just as it has guided the maple seeds and the drifting leaves, just as it has carried laughter across the puddles and the song to the windows. Ripple peeks out once more, her glow flickering softly as the breeze moves around her, forming tiny spirals in the air like a playful dance. She feels the fear still there, sitting quietly inside her, but around it, something new begins to grow. A small, gentle trust, like a tiny seed stirring in the dark soil, reaching slowly toward the light. The breeze hums near her, patient and kind, waiting, reminding her that letting go does not have to be sudden or harsh, that it can be as gentle as a sigh, as soft as the moment between one breath and the next, and that when she is ready, it will be there to catch her, to dance with her, to guide her safely home. The breeze drifts closer, swirling softly around Ripple, lifting small droplets of mist that sparkle in the moonlight like tiny stars. Ripple watches them dance in the gentle current, her glow pulsing with each breath as the breeze hums a quiet, comforting song, a promise that she will not be alone, that letting go is not the end, but the beginning of something new. Ripple closes her eyes for a moment, feeling the softness of the cloud beneath her and the gentle kiss of the breeze on her surface. She remembers the maple seeds spinning in laughter, the raindrops tapping their songs on window panes, the puddles catching the sky, the rainbow that arches after the rain, and the stream that giggles as it carries droplets toward the rivers and seas. She holds each of these memories like treasures, letting them warm the cold place in her heart where fear has lived for so long. The breeze circles her one last time, whispering asterisk, whenever you're ready. Asterisk. Ripple opens her eyes, the world below vast and unknown, but now she sees it differently. Not as something to fear, but as something waiting for her, calling her softly, promising stories she can only live if she lets go. Her glow brightens, soft but steady, as she takes a final breath within the safety of her cloud. Then, with the softest sigh, Ripple releases her hold. She does not plummet, she drifts. The breeze catches her as promised, lifting her into the air, guiding her gently as she leaves the edge of the cloud behind. She feels the air rush past her, not as a scream of fear, but as a song of freedom, a cool, exhilarating dance that sends ripples of light across her tiny form as she moves. Ripple laughs, softly at first, then brighter, as she feels herself moving with the wind, no longer stuck, no longer hiding, but free, carried by the breeze into the open sky. Ripple feels the breeze curl around her as she drifts downward, but it is not a fall, it is a dance. The air catches her softly, spinning her in gentle circles as the moonlight glints off her glow, sending tiny rainbows across her surface. She moves with the breeze, letting it guide her, lifting her up and letting her swirl before drifting lower again, like a maple seed's laughter made into motion. She giggles softly, the sound bright and clear, as the breeze twirls her, lifting her higher for a moment so she can see the world below. The rooftops glow faintly with mist, the treetops sway gently, and the streams sparkle like ribbons under the moon. Everything feels alive, welcoming her into its quiet night song. As Ripple continues her descent, she sees other raindrops drifting down with her, each one glowing softly, each one swirling in the breeze's gentle dance. They spin together, weaving patterns in the air, leaving trails of soft light that shimmer like tiny constellations being drawn across the sky. Ripple realizes she is not alone. She is surrounded by others who, like her, have let go, each one bringing their own light into the dance. The breeze hums around them, lifting and guiding them, weaving their paths together, letting them spin and laugh in the moonlight. Ripple stretches herself just a little, letting the breeze catch her in a playful twirl, sending her spinning with a giggle that echoes softly in the quiet night. She feels the air rush past, cool and refreshing, filling her with a brightness that grows with every gentle turn. It is not the fear she once imagined. It is freedom, lightness, the joy of moving, the joy of letting go and finding that the world is not as scary as it seemed. Ripple dances on the breeze, her glow brighter than ever, as the night holds her gently, letting her discover that she was always meant to dance. Ripple drifts lower, carried gently by the breeze, until she sees a small house below, warm light glowing softly through its windows, spilling onto the garden where flowers glisten with leftover droplets from the earlier rain. She feels the breeze guide her closer, and soon she finds herself joining other tiny drops, drifting toward the window of a child's room. The breeze slows, letting Ripple and the other drops tap softly against the glass. Tap, tap, tap. The sound is gentle, a quiet song that echoes through the room, a lullaby only rain knows how to sing. Ripple feels herself pressed lightly against the windowpane, the cool glass meeting her small form, and for a moment she stays there, listening to the song they create together. Inside, a child sits by the window, wrapped in a soft blanket, their eyes sleepy but bright as they watch the drops race each other down the glass. The child smiles, pressing a small hand to the window, following Ripple's glowing path as she slides slowly downward, leaving a tiny trail of light behind her. Ripple feels the warmth from the other side of the glass, a quiet hum of comfort that mixes with the cool of the window and the breeze outside. She sees the child's gentle laughter, the soft glow of the lantern in the room, and the way the drop's song seems to calm the night, turning the hush of darkness into something soft, something safe. The breeze hums around her, letting Ripple feel the purpose in this small, gentle moment. She is not just falling. She is singing, bringing calm, bringing a quiet joy to a child waiting for dreams to come. Ripple glows softly, her fear gone, replaced by the gentle warmth of knowing she has become part of the world's song. Ripple slides slowly down the windowpane, her glow leaving a soft, silvery trail in her wake as she moves with the other drops, each one creating tiny rivers that race gently toward the bottom of the glass. The breeze outside hums softly, lifting faint sparkles of mist around the house, carrying the scent of wet earth and the last whispers of rain. Below the window, a rain barrel waits, half filled with the water collected from the rooftop, the surface rippling gently as new droplets fall from the edge of the roof above. The breeze nudges Ripple, guiding her softly as she reaches the end of her slide down the window, letting her drift away from the glass to join the gentle fall into the barrel below. Ripple feels the air around her shift from the cool kiss of the breeze to the soft embrace of gravity as she drops the last small distance, landing with a quiet splash that ripples across the surface of the collected rain. For a moment, she feels herself merge into the water, surrounded by other droplets who glow softly in the moonlight, their quiet presence comforting and warm. She feels herself become part of something larger, the gentle waves of the water rocking her softly as the breeze drifts overhead. Ripple can see the reflection of the moon and the stars in the rippling water, broken and beautiful, dancing on the surface as if the sky has come down to join them. Around her, other raindrops sing softly, their song a quiet hum that echoes in the barrel, a lullaby of togetherness, of peace, of becoming part of something that waits with gentle patience. Ripple feels calm, embraced by the water and the gentle rocking that lulls her into quiet. And for the first time, she understands that letting go does not mean the end, but finding her place in a new beginning. Ripple floats gently in the rain barrel, surrounded by other softly glowing droplets, their light mingling and dancing across the rippling surface. Above them, the moon reflects in the water, its silver glow broken into playful fragments that move with each gentle wave. The air is cool, filled with the scent of wet leaves and the quiet hush of a garden that has just been kissed by rain. Ripple feels the gentle sway of the water, the soft embrace of the droplets around her, and the comforting hum of the world settling into calm. She drifts near the edge of the barrel, where a small spout dips downward, and she sees a watering can resting nearby. waiting for morning. The breeze drifts softly overhead, whispering to Ripple that her journey is not over, that even now, as she rests in the quiet of the barrel, she is part of something bigger, something beautiful. Ripple listens as the breeze shows her a vision of the child from the window, stepping out into the garden in the soft light of dawn, lifting the watering can, dipping it into the barrel to fill it with the gathered rain. Ripple sees how she, along with her new droplet friends, will flow into the watering can, ready to be poured gently over the thirsty flowers that wait in the morning light. She sees how the droplets will soak into the earth, how they will slip into the roots of daisies and marigolds, into the soft soil beneath the grass, into the petals that will open wide to greet the sunrise. She feels a warmth within her, a quiet purpose, knowing that she will become part of the bloom, part of the color, part of the scent that drifts into the breeze, continuing the gentle cycle of giving, of being part of the world's quiet beauty. Ripple drifts quietly in the soft water of the rain barrel, feeling the slow rocking of the surface as dawn begins to warm the world. The breeze has quieted, replaced by the gentle hush of morning, the soft rustle of leaves waking, and the distant chirping of birds greeting the light. Ripple glows faintly, reflecting the pale pink and gold of the sunrise as it spills across the garden. She feels a shift as the child approaches, small boots stepping carefully over the damp grass, a watering can in hand. Ripple feels the gentle pull as the can dips into the barrel, the water swirling softly around her as she moves with the others, drifting forward into the spout, leaving the barrel behind. She feels herself flow with the water into the watering can, the metal cool and welcoming as it holds the rain gathered from the night before. For a moment, Ripple rests there, hearing the soft breath of the child as they lift the can, stepping toward the flowers that wait, their petals opening to the dawn. Then Ripple feels the tilt, the gentle rush as the water pours out in a smooth stream, falling through the air in a quiet cascade. She lands softly on the petals of a marigold, the bright orange and yellow glowing with dew as her tiny form spreads across the surface, slipping into the folds of the petal, sliding down to the green leaves below. Ripple feels the warmth of the sun touching her for the first time, a gentle heat that fills her with light, making her glow brighter even as she soaks into the soil. She feels the roots reaching upward, welcoming her, drawing her in as she becomes part of the life that stirs under the earth, part of the bloom, part of the warmth that greets the morning. She is no longer afraid. She is part of the dawn. Ripple feels herself sink gently into the warm soil beneath the marigolds, the earth soft and welcoming as it embraces her glow. She feels the roots of the flowers reaching out, drawing her in, using her to grow stronger, brighter, and to lift their blossoms higher toward the light. Ripple feels herself becoming part of the bloom, part of the petals that will open wider as the sun climbs higher into the sky. Above, the morning mist rises, catching the sunlight and turning it into a soft, golden glow that drifts across the garden. Ripple feels the warmth of the sun touch every part of the soil, feels the gentle hum of the earth waking up, alive with the promise of the new day. She feels herself rising too, lifted by the warmth, pulled upward in a soft breath of air that glows with the light of dawn. Slowly, Ripple feels herself becoming lighter, rising with the mist as it drifts upward, leaving the soil and the flowers behind as she joins the warm air. She sees the garden below, the marigolds she has helped to bloom, the dewdrops sparkling on the leaves, the soft shadows of petals dancing in the breeze. Ripple rises higher, carried by the warmth, turning into a fine mist that glows with the morning sun. As she drifts upward, she feels others around her, droplets like herself who have risen from the earth, joining together in the soft, glowing mist. Together they lift higher, forming a faint shimmer in the air, a promise of rain to come, a promise that they will return again to the earth when the time is right. Ripple looks up, and as the sun shines through the mist, colors begin to form, soft and beautiful, bending across the sky in a quiet arch of light. Ripple feels herself become part of the rainbow, her glow joining with the colors, turning into light that dances in the sky. She is no longer afraid. She is part of the rainbow. Ripple glows within the rainbow, her tiny light dancing with the soft colors that bend across the morning sky. She feels herself stretch into the reds, the oranges, the yellows, into the soft greens and blues, into the deep violets that hum quietly at the edges of the light. She is part of each color, part of each breath of light that shines down on the world below, part of the promise that even after the rain, beauty can grow. She feels the breeze lift her, swirling softly through the rainbow, carrying her glow with it, letting her dance across the sky where children point and laugh, where petals lift toward the colors, where puddles catch her reflection and hold it gently on their quiet surfaces. Ripple feels no fear now. She feels only the joy of movement, the joy of becoming light, the joy of being part of something greater than herself. As she drifts within the rainbow, Ripple sees below how the earth shines softly after the rain, how the leaves are greener, the flowers brighter, the world more alive because the rain has come and gone. She sees the child from the window looking up, eyes wide with wonder, a small smile on their face as they watch the rainbow, the promise of light after the storm. Ripple glows brighter within the colors, understanding now that letting go was not the end of her, but the beginning. She has touched the clouds, the windows, the puddles, the earth, the petals of flowers, and now the sky itself. She has become the music of the rain, the laughter of the breeze, the promise of the rainbow. She laughs softly, a bright, clear sound that hums within the colors, joining the quiet song of the morning. Ripple knows now that letting go is not falling. It is dancing, it is becoming free. It is learning that she was always meant to glow. Ripple glides within the soft colors of the rainbow as it slowly begins to fade, the morning sun rising higher in the sky, washing the colors into a gentle glow that lingers like a quiet promise. She feels herself drift upward once more, lifted by the warm breeze that has been with her since the beginning, carrying her softly toward the clouds she once clung to in fear. As she rises, Ripple looks down at the world below. She sees the leaves glistening in the sunlight, the puddles reflecting the blue of the sky, the flowers lifting their petals to the warmth. She sees the child in the garden, now dancing barefoot in the wet grass, laughter ringing out like a bell, soft and bright, the rainbow reflected in their eyes. Ripple's glow pulses softly, warm and steady as she drifts higher, the breeze holding her gently, guiding her back toward the clouds. She sees them ahead, soft and welcoming, the same comforting grays and lavenders she once hid inside, afraid of letting go. But now Ripple knows she is not returning in fear. She is returning with stories to share, with colors inside her, with the gentle songs of rain and the soft laughter of streams. She settles back into the softness of the cloud, the mist curling around her like a quiet embrace, the hum of the cloud greeting her softly, asking without words how her journey was. Ripple glows brightly, her light dancing within the cloud as she shares her stories. Stories of maple seeds and window songs, of puddles and petals, of rainbows and the warmth of sunlight on the earth. And as the cloud cradles her once more, Ripple feels the breeze sigh around her, the promise of future rains, of new dances, of letting go again when the time is right. She is not afraid. She is home, and she knows now that every letting go is also a becoming, every drop a story, every fall a dance, every return a gentle beginning.